Okay, alright, welcome back to this third chapter, and we will jump right in and try to create some dirt here. The first thing that I want to make, I want to create a new Octane shader here, so a new Octane material, so you can see a little bit better what's going on with this dirt. And here in the diffuse, we can just simply go texture, cinema for the Octane, dirt. So this is pretty easy so far. Let's just simply call this material dirt for now. And let's drop this maybe over our concrete material that we have. And by the way, I think I did before, maybe in the diffuse here on our wall concrete material, in the diffuse channel, in the image texture, I did change here this power maybe from 1 to 2 as well, when I did copy this over from the bump channel, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but if this is set to power 2, just set this back to 1 and we should be fine. So let's maybe I did already duplicate this camera here, and let's jump into this camera and get a little bit closer here to this window. And as you can see, we're already starting to getting a little bit of dirt. So Octane will recognize, okay, where are edges and where can I really apply this dirt. So this is pretty cool. But as you can see right now, it's somehow spawning a little bit on the inside. Let's maybe make the strength here a little bit higher so you can see this a little bit better. So normally you would really need to switch on here invert normals. And then you can see we're getting rid here of this dirt and only getting on the outer edges our dirt, which is pretty cool. And there is not really much to it. I mean, you have a strength, as you can see, so I can make this stronger. I can make details, of course, so I can, how much details should this dirt have? And how far should the radius be? So as you can see, as I go up here with the radius, we're really starting to getting a lot of dirt. So I would go down here a little bit with the strength, of course. Just a little bit, yeah, maybe like this. And we're already starting to getting some really nice dirt on our edges. What we could do as well, we can also change a little bit the color. So we can go Cinema of the Octane Mix Texture. And let's put this dirt material here. Let's leave it, I think, where do we need to put it? I think we need to copy this channel here. Click here on texture, paste our dirt material, drag and drop the material to texture 2 and load here an RGB spectrum. RGB spectrum is just basically color. And what we can do now, we can just simply control the color of the dirt with this mix texture. So if I go here full red, this dirt should also become full red. So we can also mix in some color if we want to, if we don't just simply want to go with a black or grayish value here that is defined right from the start. Just simply go diffuse, Cinema of the Octane, mix texture, and then set it up exactly like this in the amount the dirt, in the texture 2 the dirt, and texture 1 an RGB spectrum, and then we can play around with all kinds of colors. To be honest, I don't really think we need some dirt here around the edges in this scene. Might be a little bit too much. So I think we can just simply leave it out. Also, a problem is, I think, that here the modeling is a little bit messed up by me. At least Octane doesn't really recognize here the edges really good. And as you can see, I'm getting dirt everywhere here. So we just simply have to leave dirt out for this thing right now. So let's drop back down our wall concrete material here. So we are on the same page again. And even though we don't have now an edge dirt, I still want to have a little bit more of dirt here on the wall. Because the wall looks right now really clean. And I think just way too clean. And this is not really good. So we just simply need to do here a little bit more. Before we do this, I think I want to scale the wall a little bit more. Let's maybe go here. The UV transfer maybe 4:4, because I think 3:3 is still a little bit too small. Let's do the exact same thing here in the bump quickly. 4:4. I think this gives us a little bit of a better look here. And yeah, I think that's basically it. And now we can start to create maybe our own noise. So noise are just simply basically procedural materials that we can make with all kind of different noises. So let's create a new Octane material and override our wall concrete again, once again. And let's load here the diffuse some kind of noise. I think with Octane 3.0 they did add a new noise, which is called turbulence. I'm not sure if it was always there, but there's also noise. So we can use noise or turbulence. I think turbulence will fit a little bit better for this scene, so let's try this out for now. And as you can see, as soon as we load this in diffuse, we get this really, really weird thing here. But we can play around here with the omega. We can play around here with the octaves to get a complete different look. We can play around here with the offset. We can play around with the power, and so on and so on. I don't really think that this map was my fault. Let's delete this turbulence. I think we need a normal noise. Let's just drop in a noise here. We can, by the way, also use Cinema 4D noises if we want to, but I think these are just simply coming in a little bit more handy. Let's try it with the turbulence from here. Okay, it's basically the same. Let's try circular. Nah, that's not really the dirt I'm looking for. Let's look for chips. Yeah, not good. Maybe Perlin noise is really what we need to do. And let's up the octaves here maybe. This is just really now playing with those sliders and trying to getting some nice dirt here in maybe. Something like this. Let's play around with the gamma. Okay, a little bit darker, contrast. Then we can go UV transform, of course, and scale this up, like maybe, I don't know, 100. Also here 100 in the Y. So we're not getting so much dirt. Okay, now it's almost gone, or everywhere. Let's go 10-10 here maybe. This is still, I mean, this is a lot of dirt, to be honest, and we don't have, let's click on invert maybe. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't really change much, but I just wanted to see how it does look inverted. We can still play here a little bit with the omega, of course, to reduce here the noise a little bit, or just to simply give it a little bit more. I mean, this looks now really, really dirty. Let's maybe play with the gamma a little bit more, so we don't see so much dirt. I think something like that we might can work with. I mean, this is still a little bit much. Maybe let's go down with the octaves a little bit. I think they're really big. And maybe like this. Maybe something like this. So octave 7, omega 0.7. Let's go gamma 0.75. And let's go here with the contrast to 0.01. And you can still play with the contrast a little bit more if you want to. Okay, and then we're really starting to getting some nice, really dirt here, which I really, really like. I think this is good, but I think it's still a little bit too much. So I think we can scale this up here maybe to 2020. Let's try this out. Let's maybe play here around with the contrast even a little bit more. Doesn't really help. Let's maybe go down with the octaves a little bit. No, that's not good. Let's go up with the octaves maybe to 12. Let's change the omega once more. Maybe to 0.8. Yeah, 0.8 looks pretty good. I mean, we still have a lot of dirt going on, but I think this will fit the scene pretty good. And the really nice thing is that no noise in this picture really looks like the other one. So they're completely procedural, so this will never ever look the same. Let's maybe jump back into our final shot camera and let's see how much dirt we get. And I think that's pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. So the next thing we need to do, we need to mix those textures somehow together, of course. So we want to have this dirt over our concrete texture. So how can we do this? Pretty easy, I think. So let's first of all call this wall dirt. And let's go create shader Cinema 4D Octane mix material. And let's open this up and let's drop in here in the material to our concrete. And let's drop in here in the first spot our wall dirt. And in the amount the amount will just simply, if I put this here to 0, we will only see our concrete material. And if I put this here to 1, we will only see our dirt material. And at 0.5, they are somehow a little bit mixed together, but it still is not looking good. I really want to have exactly this color mapped onto this wall concrete that I have created before. So I will just simply go texture here, and I will go into my wall dirt and load exactly this noise here, copy channel, go back into my mix and paste this here, paste channel. And I think this is not working because we still need to make an alpha here maybe, so we only see the dirt. So let's go diffuse, copy this channel once again, go opacity, paste it in here. So we're getting somehow an alpha channel. We might have to invert this. That's not even working. Why is it not working? It should be working. Let's look at the mix material once again. Okay, this is not crazy. Let me think this through quickly. Yeah, I think this was really my fault anyway. I don't even think we need a mix material. Let's delete this mix material. And let's just simply go here to our concrete material, and in the diffuse we just simply go Cinema 4D Octane mix texture. So we can mix textures here together, and then we will copy out here our noise, copy channel. I mean, this is basically doing the same as the mix material, but I still think this is the better way to go, so we don't need to create an extra mix material. And then paste this in here into the amount, and let's drag and drop this image texture down here. We just simply need to drag and drop this, bada boom, bada bam, and then we go paste channel and paste our noise in here. And this should give us now really somehow an overlapping dirty material. Let's drop it on there and let's see what we get. I really want to see this. Yeah, we're already starting to getting this dirt here, so that's pretty cool. And if this dirt is still a little bit too hard for us and a little bit, I don't know, too bad, we just simply have to jump in here and maybe, I mean, what we could do, we can also here in the texture one, we could also put this in a mixed texture as well. Then drop this down here, drop this up here in the amount, and then just simply give it here an RGB spectrum. And then we can control the color here of the dirt as well. So if we want to make this red, we can make it now red. And if the black was just simply too hard, we just go here a little bit more grayish, and then the noise will not appear so hard in our pictures anymore. And yeah, so let's have a look at this material, how it's constructed again. So we have a diffuse and did load a mix texture. Let's open this up. In this mix texture, we have now noise in the amount, and texture 2 is our basic image for the wall. And in texture 1, we have another mix texture to control the color of our noise or of our dirt that is appearing on the wall. So it's really easy. I mean, you will need to use this mix texture a lot. Definitely tell in Octane. I mean, it's basically the only material that you can use besides this normal material. And this mix material basically does exactly the same like this Cinema 4D Octane mix texture here in the diffuse channel or wherever you want to use it. But this is basically how you can mix things together. You could use the same technique also for rust. We could do the same technique here in our silver, and if you say, okay, we want to have some rust on our silver and stuff like that, we can use the exact same technique and then just simply control. But we probably would need to do the same procedure in the specular channel instead of the diffuse, because then here we're really getting some metallish color. In the diffuse, this would not really work. So yeah, this is basically how you can add a little bit of dirt in the scene. I mean, I know this wasn't really much, to be honest, but there is not really so much to it, you know. Once you have copied this technique that I just showed you, you can make, with this simple technique, multiple of materials and overlays and overlays and overlays over different materials if you want to. Just simply always put it in the next mix texture, next mix texture. This can be sometimes a little bit frustrating because Octane is working like that, but what can you do? This is just simply the way to do it, and there is not really a way around. So this was really a short introduction to dirt, but as I said, there is not really much to it anyway. Okay, so I think I will close this dirt chapter right here, right now, and then we will, I don't know, in the next chapter we will talk about a little bit about multipasses and making this image maybe a little bit better and playing around with a few settings, and maybe I can show you the one or other trick. This is just really a basic introduction to exteriors inside of Octane, and like I said, I really would recommend that you watch the V-Ray part as well. Okay, so thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next lesson.